On our sports feature day, we talk with Red Oak head wrestling coach Tegan Podliska as his team gets ready for the season, and actually with some high expectations. And I know, Coach, there's always high expectations from you and from your team, but you've got it throughout the state now. You're rated number 5 in the preseason as a team. Can you talk a little bit about that and how, obviously your team has put in a lot of hard work, and for others to notice, it's always a nice thing.
It really is a nice thing, and I like the word you're using there. We constantly talk about expectations. I don't like goals. We expect to be there. We expect to do great things this season, and it's just continuing to build off of that hard work you're talking about. We have a lot of kids who are really committed to the program. They're committed to it and the way they conduct themselves and everything they do. They eat the right things. They do the right things. They're there in the off season. They're multi-sport athletes. They're good in the classroom. Those are the things that have kind of led us to where we're at. We've had these expectations every season. It's fun to watch those build as well. Every year I send the kids an expectation sheet. They fill it out, and then those are posted in our room. So we're working out, and sometimes it's hey, you're going to be a state place winner this year. You're going to have to pick it up. You might be beat down a little bit right now, but right there on that wall it says you're going to be a state place winner. So what are you going to do from here?
Tell me a little bit about some of the guys. Very familiar names for sure. A lot of guys that are rated here to start the season. Who are these guys and that are leading the way and you're expecting a lot from this year?
You look at the returning qualifiers. You got John Earp, who's rated high. Justin McCunn rated up there. Carter Main's rated up there. Thomas Bentley rated up there. Colton Kennison rated up there. Well, you also look at some of those guys. We're going to look to compliment them. If all you're worried about is those 5 guys, then we're going to be licking our chops when we're going into the duels, because we got guys like Liam Mahoney, who hurt his knee at the end of the season last year, but he did all the right things coming back from that, and we're excited to have him back and healthy. Hunter McMahon had a really good year for us last year, and he'd only been on the mat for 13 months. He's a kid who started wrestling about 2 weeks after his sophomore season. Saw the program was headed in the right direction, and he saw the excitement for it, and he wanted to be a part of it. So he was involved with an entire off season of wrestling before he was involved in a regular season of wrestling. He knew how to wrestle freestyle and Greco before he knew how to wrestle folk style. When you got those things happening, that's exciting. Ethan Stewart's going to come back out and contribute for us. James Kelly's back out. He took a year off. He's back. We're excited about that. Bruce Lukehart, he's put in more time and more miles and more energy than pretty much anybody else in the state. He's right up there. He's one of those guys. Hey, we're going to Minnesota for regionals. Who wants to go? Bruce Lukehart's the first one there, and he had a big win up at the Northern Plains regionals for us last season, and that was exciting for him. So we're excited about him. We got some new faces in the lineup that we're excited about. More of those returning guys. Cam Vanderhoof, he was a district qualifier last year. He's looking to elevate to the next level. His freshman and sophomore years, expectation was to be a district qualifier. Last year, he wanted to be a state qualifier, and he fell just a match short. He lost to a kid in a really close match who the 2 kids coming out of his district were place winners. So he's right at that level. He can be a place winner. He can be a state champion. It's what he does from here that's going to dictate that. So those are some of the kind of the guys we're excited about.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, certainly. Saturday, you'll start out the season there with the tournaments at West Delaware, it looks like, on the schedule. What do you expect here first time out? What are you looking for?
You want to see where your shape's at. We kind of pride ourselves on that, especially early in the season. Sometimes you win some matches people don't think you should because you're in better shape than somebody else. Just really exciting. With the guys that we have back in the program, it's kind of repetitive sometimes early in the season because we're reviewing all those fundamentals, because those are a big thing. Everybody preaches fundamentals. So that's something we're always going over. But at the same time, we have some guys who, been in the program, been through the process so many times that you kind of wonder if they're getting bored, but they're still just sharper than heck. They're still just drilling high crotches and their ankle picks and everything that they need to do at a high level, at a fast level, at a clean level. We're excited to see where they're at compared to everybody else. We're excited to see where some of the weight management's at. Some of those guys, that kind of the way that we have our lineup, there's kind of a dictated weight that guys kind of have to be at if we're going to have all of our horses ready to go. And so we got to see how their nutrition is. We got to see if they're making those right decisions when coach isn't watching, because you can tell me you're eating the right stuff, and you can tell everybody else you're eating the right stuff, and you're drinking the fluids and the things like that, but the time it's going to show up is when you're competing.
Tegan Podliska, head coach for Red Oak Wrestling. Coach, thanks a lot for the time today. Appreciate it, and looking forward to following this team this year.
Yep, absolutely.
Red Oak on the road Saturday at West Delaware, Tuesday at Creston, Friday, the following Friday at Central Decatur, and then Tuesday the 11th at Riverside before finally their first home meet Thursday, December 13th in a double duel with St. Albert and Schleswig. For KMA Sports, I'm Derek Martin.
You look at last year, and we did some pretty historic things for our program. 5 state qualifiers, everybody wins a match, couple state place winners. Last time that happened was 1975. So, we're doing the right things, and that was kind of the culmination of doing the right things. And you talk about the season and the so-called off season and the lack of so-called off season. We took, a couple weeks off after last season, and then I had guys hungry and ready to get back in the room and wrestle some freestyle and Greco. And, we provide our kids with some tremendous opportunities. We are very thankful for the Southwest Iowa Greco team. They're based out of Underwood and TJ and kind of us now. We're a big part of that. And so they provide us with a lot of training opportunities in the off season. And so, one day a week we'd be in our room, and one day a week we'd go up to Council Bluffs, Thomas Jefferson, or Underwood, and we'd roll around with those guys and, get exposure to more coaches and more kids, and that's a big part of it. And then, we have tournament opportunities. We went to some local tournaments. We went up to Northern Plains Regionals in Rochester, Minnesota. We took a few guys up there. Cody Bentley placed for us up there, and McCunn was a match away in both styles. But those are really tough tournaments, and those are both first-year junior guys for freestyle and Greco. The age divisions are a little bit different, and they both. We had a few guys wrestle at the state freestyle and Greco tournament. Bentley was a double national qualifier, and McCunn was a qualifier in freestyle, and so. They went up to Fargo, and they both kind of got banged up while they were up there. But that's the toughest tournament in the nation, hands down. If you're gonna, I think 7 out of 10 national champions at the Division I last year won a Fargo national title. So that kind of speaks to the accolades of that tournament. And then coming into this year, we took a little bit of time off getting into football, and then. That's kind of our only break. We take a couple weeks off there, and then I had guys text me, can we get back in the room, just one day a week or something, and so, I can open up the room and I can make sure nobody gets hurt, but I just kind of sit there, and that's where the leadership comes in. We have great leaders, and they're setting up workouts with each other and kind of gearing each other and putting each other through workouts. It's not just kind of go in and lay around or anything like that. They don't want to waste their time. They get in there for an hour or so and they get after it. And then in the preseason we do a little bit of running and a little bit of morning wrestling, 2.5 miles a couple days a week, and 2 mornings a week we'd be in the wrestling room. And that's exciting when you got 10, 11, 12, 13 kids in there in the preseason. Sunday open mat, the day before season started, we had 13 kids in the room at 6 o'clock that night, the day before official practice starts. Yeah, that's the really exciting part of it. I've been here, this is year 8 for me, and it used to be, it's a culture change. It used to be me kind of twisting arms and maybe having a kid show up or 2 kids show up, and I had to look at myself from a commitment level, and I had to make things exciting and really get some excitement going and get some things going and provide kids with more opportunities. And the more I've done that, the more they show up. And when I'm willing to be there at I got kids. We're running our 2.5 miles at 6:45 in the morning, and Justin McCunn goes, "Hey, I got class at 7. Can we go at 5:45?" And Bruce Lucart goes, "Yeah, I'll go with him." And Bruce doesn't have college class at 7 a.m., but he's running with Justin McCunn at 5:45 in the morning, and they're running fast, and they're sitting there talking to me, "Hey," and I was kind of talking to them. I said, "I'm going to have to run with you guys one of these days because you guys are fast, and I want to go after you," and they got me. But yeah, absolutely. When we had 2 guys showing up in the off season and 2 guys showing up for open mats, we had 1 guy at the state tournament, or no guys at the state tournament. And now we got, 13 guys at open mat, and we got 5 guys at the state tournament. And, it builds, and it's contagious. Winning's contagious. When you watch those kids and you watch how they train, you want to be like that kid. You say, hey, if I'm going to do what he does, I'm going to have to do what he does. If I want to do what he does on Thursday night, I'm going to have to do what he does on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday. It's fun. I'm blessed to lead a great group of kids, and they're committed, and I've upped my own commitment level, and I'm glad that they're buying into it. And it's great. Our middle school numbers are skyrocketing. Our high school numbers aren't as high as we'd like them to be, but sometimes maybe you get a little bit intimidated. Maybe you don't want to be a first-year wrestler on a team that returns 5 state qualifiers, and I understand that, but we still want them to support us, and if they want to come out, we'd love to have them. Nathan Rouse will be my assistant coach. He's, this is year 7 for him, so he's been here with me through most of it. I had 1 year without him, and then we're working on some certifications for some other guys to get in the room, and we're really excited about that. Healthy, we're being disciplined. I think, when you have a lineup like ours and you return what we return, sometimes it gets kind of interesting. Hey, you got 5 state qualifiers, and 4 of the returners are basically back to back almost. So what exactly is going to happen with the rest of the weights? And so we've had a lot of guys really commit to, hey, this is going to be my weight class, and I'm working on my way down there, so we can get all the pieces in the lineup where we want them to be, and we can complement them with the guys, because you talk about 5 state qualifiers. Well, that's exciting, but we got a whole bunch of forces in the room that aren't those 5 guys, and we're excited about them too, and we're excited to get them into the lineup and display what they've done in the off season and the things that they can accomplish this year. And it's just going to be a party up there in Des Moines this year.
Chase home, 9th grade, 106. I want to win some matches more than I won last year, and I want to help out my team.
My name's Jonathan Erb. I'm in 11th grade. Weight 106. My personal expectation is to place in the top 5 at state. And my team expectation is for us to go to team state.
My name is Sandra Guerrero. I'm a junior. My weight is 113. My expectations for this year is the team to do the best they could, and for me to learn how to wrestle. Team expectations, I'm hoping for my teammates to go to state and to accomplish all they can.
My name is Brenner, sophomore, 132. I want to try to make it to state this year, and I want to help the team get enough wins.
Cam Vanderup, I'm in 12th grade, I'm wrestling 138. My personal expectation is to make the state wrestling, and my team expectation is to make the state duels.
My name is Shake Ekana, I'm a junior, I weigh 145. My personal expectation is just learn to tuck up everything I can, do my best to practice, and my team expectation is just to push everybody and do as best as we can.
My name's Zach Guerra. I'm a junior this year, and I'm going to be wrestling 145. My personal expectations are just to do the best I can and have a winning record this year. And team expectations, just do whatever I can for the team, whether that's wrestling in different weight classes or whatever it takes.
My name is Bruce Lucart, grade junior. We're going 152, and my personal expectations are to make it at state, and my team expectations are to get a winning dual record and bring home a trophy for state.
My name is James Kelly. I'm a senior. I plan to wrestle 152 pounds. My expectations are to beat personal records and to help my team get better any way I can.
My name is Ethan Stewart. I'm a senior. I wrestle at 160. My personal expectations are to do the best I can, and my team expectations is to be there for the team and win some duels.
Justin McCunn, Jr., weight 160. individual goal is just to wrestle my very best every day and end up where I want to in February. Team goal is to go and get a tournament trophy at the state tournament.
My name is Carter Maines. I'm a junior. Wrestle 170. Personal expectations, placing in the state. Team expectation is to go undefeated.
I'm a big man. I'm a senior. I'm wrestling 182. My personal expectation is to win 3/4 of my matches, and team expectation is to beat wrestling.
Thomas Bentley, 12th grade, 195. Personal expectation to be a state champion. My team expectation is to be state dual champions and traditional team dual champions.
My name is Colton Kinnison. I'm a senior, wrestling 220 pounds. My personal expectations are qualified for state and be a place winner, have a really high winning record, and my team expectations are qualified for state duels.
My name's Liam Mahoney. I'm a senior. I'm wrestling 285. And my personal goal this year is to place at least top 5 in all my tournaments this year. My team expectation is to win state duels.